Around 11:30 Sunday night by the corner of East 178th Street and Webster Avenue in the Bronx, police say two men pulled scooters up next to a cab Medrano was taking to a recording studio. They then shot him in his head and chest. Single mother Yvonne Medrano is inconsolable. The Bronx woman is now mourning the loss of her 16-year-old son, Raymond Gil Medrano.
He died immediately.
But why?
I don't know why.
No sabemos.
We don't know why.
No sabemos qué pasó.
We don't know what happened. We just want justice.
And Gilma, both of the suspects arrested are teens. One of them is 19.
July 11th, 2021. A young Bronx teen woke up with the intentions of trying to leave the gang life behind and pursue a career in the music industry as a rap artist. His name was Raymond Gil Medrano, but to his gang affiliates, he was known by the alias Rah Gz. Rah Gz's life was plagued with trauma, but the death of the path he led came to light after his tragic end. Just hours prior, Rah Gz was oblivious to suspects preying on his downfall that day. After being up and about during the day, he decided to head to a friend's place to record some songs to get some work in on his career. Nighttime arrived, and it was nearing the time for him to head out. Being accustomed to the late night scene, Rah Gz was outside at around 11 p.m., getting ready to catch a cab to his friend's place after it was safer. At around 11:30, he entered a lively cab at East 178th Street and Valentine Ave in Mount Hope. Minutes later, at around 11:35, the cab was at a stoplight while Rah Gz was interacting with a friend on his cell phone. With their chance in sight, his pursuers got on their scooters and rode up to the passenger side of the window. The next couple of seconds, loud explosions were heard, along with shattered glass. That was the moment where the first shot blasted its way through the cab window, upon which a round of other shots were let off, all hitting Rah Gz in the head and chest, taking his life. Video footage exists of the shooting. However, out of respect for his family and friends, we will not show the video. From the short clip, the cab can be seen at a standstill as figures pulled up beside, ending Rah Gz's life, and then the cab driver, ducking in fear, begins trying to get away. Paramedics would rush to the scene, taking Rah Gz to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. His friend, who was on the phone at the time of his homicide, was the one who called and informed Rah Gz's mother of what was happening.
He was on the phone with a friend when he got shot.
Yes, the friend heard the gunshot and then called my mom.
Oh my God.
It was horrific.
Investigations into his murder revealed things were not as black and white as a random homicide, but what appears to be a gang feud of retaliations interconnected together.
Around 11:30 Sunday night by the corner of East 178th Street and Webster Avenue in the Bronx, police say two men pulled scooters up next to a cab Medrano was taking to a recording studio. They then shot him in his head and chest.
Friends and family members were left to mourn the slain teen on the path to chasing dreams in the music industry. The pain could be heard from his mother as tears poured from her face, asking for justice for her son.
He died immediately.
But why?
I don't know why.
No sabemos.
We don't know
No
why.
sabemos qué pasó.
We don't know what happened. We just want justice.
Authorities got around to speaking to his mother, and a truth that may have led to her son Rah Gz's passing began coming to light. It seemed the life he lived went even deeper than seen on the surface. According to reports, Gil Medrano, aka Rah Gz, was the target of an assassination just a year prior, on July 7th, 2020. In that incident, he was shot in the back at Prospect Ave and Oakland Place in Crotona, leaving him in critical condition. Ironically, the shooters then also ambushed him while riding on scooters. So it begs the question, if it was the same individuals that returned to finish the job, whether it was due to the gang culture in the neighborhood exacting revenge on those talking to the police, or due to him being actively in a gang, Rah Gz refused to cooperate with officials, leaving his shooters free from prosecution. Rah Gz's life was hanging in the balance, but after 2 weeks of being hospitalized, he was allowed to return home, where his family nursed him back to health. In that instance, his sister recalled how painful it was seeing him in that condition, but was thankful he dodged being left paralyzed. His family further told reporters that after going through that life-threatening experience, Rah Gz began to change his life around. After his unfortunate demise upon the second attempt on his life, his sister denied any rumors that he was involved in the gang. In the eyes of the law, however, things appeared to be completely opposite. At the time of his passing, Rah Gz was fighting legal issues for a slew of criminal activities, including 3 previous gun arrests that occurred within 90 days before his homicide. Investigation into Rah Gz's shooting uncovered connections to the 800 YG's gang, aka Young Gunners, and what's more, officials connected Rah Gz to a previous rival gang murder that may have been the reason for the retaliation taking his life. July 11, 2021. The same day that Rah Gz lost his life, another teenager, Jaryan Elliott, also lost his life to the gun. Jaryan Elliott also went by the alias Jrip and was an affiliate of YG's rivals, Sebside, which was tied to the popular Bronx rapper and alleged gang member K Flock. Hours earlier, before Rah Gz lost his life, around 3:15 p.m. on East 187th Street near Prospect Ave, in the Belmont section, a black sedan pulled into view, where a male gunman emerged with gun brandished, firing at Jrip, hitting him in the ankle and chest outside the Angels Cafe. Footage captures the injured teen running into the cafe, where he collapsed and was taken to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. As with Rah Gz, authorities also listed Jrip as the intended target of gang retaliation. His alleged close gang affiliates, K Flock, would mourn the loss of his friend. On a clip posted to his social media, the two can be seen playing like siblings, joking around.
If I drag you again, I'm not playing with you, bro. What I told you though. What I told you though. What did I?
In one of the captions, he ended his morning with, "Somebody's gotta pay. Ish not enough." What's even more strange about the connection between Jrip and Rah Gz is that they both were connected to K Flock. One was his friend, and the other, his enemy. In fact, just over a week before the shooting incident, Rah Gz would go live online with his other alleged gang affiliates, calling out K Flock.
Like, what's up? Pop out, nigga, we out here. Yo, K Flock, pop out. Pop out right now. Right now, as we speak, nigga. You wanna make shows? You gonna make shows too. Pop out. Water my mother. Pop out right now.
The two were no strangers to each other. They often dissed and argued online. On one occasion, K Flock insinuated that his gang was responsible for the first shooting that wet up Rah Gz in the back, nearly ending his life.
You know what happened.
Why nigga don't?
You know what happened.
To the block now.
Your back is fucked up.
He got the other pussy.
That's some bullshit. You ain't do nothing. Marcus dead, bad. You died that day. You thought you died that day. You got hit in the back.
The feud would intensify between the two when Rah Gz joined the fellow rivals of K Flock, Nasty Flocks, Yus Gz, and Assassin Gz, to release the track BTB. On the song, Rah Gz sends alleged shots to K Flock, making light of his friends that have died. Me and bro drive trying to catch a hit. Why? Cause ninjas always diss. How is they talking? Man's in a spliff, and your other man just got hit. Better go get up on that. That music video was seen released on YouTube on June 22nd, 2021. By the second week in July, Rah Gz was no more. But the question remained, why did investigators connect Rah Gz specifically to Jrip's shooting that occurred hours earlier? Even with the back and forth and threats between both him and K-Flock wasn't mentioned at all in the investigation. Well, as it turns out, police reports would be posted stating that Rah Gz was spotted at the crime scene when Elliot, aka Jrip, was gunned down. Furthermore, after Rah Gz's life was taken, affiliates of the slain teen would post a video online destroying the candles placed in front of Jrip's home in honor of his life.
Outside his building tonight, candles glow in the shape of his initials, J.E.
I see out here. Jrip, RP my heart.
The caption on the video stating, "We do this for Rah." This added even more evidence to the connection that investigators tied between the two murders being gang-related. K-Flock, along with his affiliates, has since made certain to disrespect and mock Rah Gz's passing in videos and on subsequent songs released. The laughter and mocking of the dead would soon be shattered by law enforcement about a week after Rah Gz lost his life, when they apprehended two suspects in the case. 19-year-old Mikhi Williams was arrested on multiple charges relating to the hit. The second suspect was arrested on charges of second-degree murder and criminal possession of a weapon.
And Gilma, both of the suspects arrested are teens. One of them is 19.
A senior NYPD official states that both suspects have prior arrest histories and ties to gangs in the city. The gang culture paints a picture of freedom and luxury, but oftentimes it only ends 6 feet under or in prison. And it's sad that throughout the entire back and forth of retaliations and arrest, the only suspects and victims mentioned are all youngsters. On August 19th and September 10th, 2021, authorities arrested 2 more teens for their involvement in Rah Gz's homicide. 19-year-old Hasib Kutz and an unidentified person were both charged with the incident, manslaughter, and gun possession charges. The details later uncovered in the planned hit showed an even more gruesome nature to the crime. Apparently, the targeted hit was as a result of a group of rival gang members. Prosecutors say a group of people, including Williams and another suspect, went searching for Gil Medrano, aka Rah Gz, on July 11th. One of the suspects went into a store and bought everyone masks. Him, along with Williams, then rode on the back of scooters, while Kutz and the other suspect piled into a car and circled the area, looking for Rah Gz. If only they used this tactical knowledge and dedication towards something more productive, maybe their lives would find a better path. It's sad that life is lost so young, and for fighting a battle that has nothing to do with neither of them, simply brainwashed into the gang culture, feuding over incidents that occurred before any of them were even born. May all of the families affected by the senseless killings find some closure. Rest in peace, Rah Gz.